Welcome back to the CT Avis channel. Late night shenanigans here with Call of Cthulhu. The conclusion, we think, to our little trip to the woods, the house in the woods. Nothing ever bad happens in a house in the woods, right? I'm CT Avis. I am the owner of this channel. This is part of the Odd Lot Collective. And we are playing Call of Cthulhu right now. Next week, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. But since we are starting really late tonight, let's get right into it. John, why don't you take us the recap?
All right. Hello and welcome to the CT Avis channel, part of the Odd Lot group, as you just said. And tonight we are playing Call of Cthulhu. And I am joined here by my friends Rid, who is playing Larson Shane, a bootlegger. Matt Trombley, who is playing Professor Dr. Granville, a parapsychologist and occultist. Bob is playing Brick McAllister, a veteran of the Great War, a Marine. Tim is playing Anton Kuznetsov, an airline mechanic with some aptitude for flying and a strange Pennsylvanian accent. Chris is playing Sam Slade, our private investigator. And Rick is playing Dr. Hampton Lockhart, a doctor of medicine. And I am John. I am the keeper of arcane lore, which is like the dungeon master for Call of Cthulhu. The player characters, called investigators, have found themselves in the middle of the woods in a cabin that was once owned by a Rupert Merriweather, the uncle of Brick McAllister. Rupert was once a part of a group called the Dark Brotherhood, a group of 6 individuals who decided one night to meddle in some occult activities, releasing what they thought was a djinn that could grant them wishes or at least boons of some sort, but it turned out to be some sort of greater evil. Over the course of time, the other members of the Dark Brotherhood have passed away, leaving Rupert to hold the secret and some of the critical keys and clues to banishing this creature. Passed on to Brick and the rest of this group, who are all members of an organization called the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. At present, the investigators are in the middle of chanting an incantation that they found in a steam chest in the basement of this cabin. Incantation in Latin, successfully translated by Dr. Hampton Lockhart, who assisted everybody in learning how to also pronounce the words correctly. They were also happened upon a Bertram Merriweather, that was Rupert's son, who felt like he had a stake or claim to the property itself. He showed up with his lawyer, but through some successful oratory skills on the part of the investigators, the lawyer backed down and even made a deal. And the investigators even made a deal with Bertram to relinquish the cabin to them, at least for now. With the possibility of maybe handing it back over. We'll see. However, there was a short mystery of a missing farmer's wife in a nearby town, whom they found in a nearby wood, and then found again reanimated, pounding on the back door, as an otherworldly or undead type creature with an obvious hole in her chest. and she was taken care of by, I believe that was Anton's special rifle / flashlight. And when we last left our investigators, Bertram was sort of turning into a quivering mass sitting on a moldy chair in the eastern half of the cabin close to the front door. There was a pounding on the front door, and Anton, I believe, started to move over to it. I don't remember exactly who moved over to it, but someone moved over to the front door. And that's when they noticed that the person pounding on the door hard enough to cause the wood to bow in, just enough that they could see the ripped gingham sleeve of Red Jake. Red Jake, a transient, a hobo that was living, at least for one night, in the basement of the cabin. And that, I believe, is where we left off. So, a couple of things to take care of. With the incantations, I need everybody to pull up their character sheets. And on your character sheet should be a section for magic. If someone finds it, since we're all still kind of dealing with using alchemy as a VTT, a virtual tabletop, and none of us are quite proficient at it yet, but we're getting there.
What are we looking for?
I believe it's your magic points.
It's under mechanics.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to show how many points you have at present. If it's not
If you just
around,
look at the trackers where it also has your luck, it'll also say your magic points in the bottom
Yep.
right.
Okay, and is that a number you can adjust?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so
If you right
So
click,
let's
it's
get-
chopped.
okay, let's get a reminder here. Anton was one of the watchers who was watching out for danger. And I know that Larson was in charge of some of the other things. Is Larson also a watcher? No, Larson was also chanting. Was everybody else chanting?
I
I
was
think
watching
everybody
as well.
chanted, but Anton.
No, I wasn't
Okay.
chanting either.
Oh. Okay.
I was watching the other
Rick-
door.
Oh, Brick, you were at the front door. Okay, that's what I had
Yeah.
wrong. Okay,
Yeah, 'cause I was
so
at the
Anton.
window or something.
Yep, Anton is at the back door. Oh, and a piece of the warding glyph that was on the outside of the cabin had actually started to break off, and Anton was able to repair that on the fly. Brick on the front door near Bertram, and then the other four members were in the middle of chanting. Those four members, that would be Dr. Lockhart, Sam Slade, Professor Granville, and Larson, all need to subtract 2 magic points.
From our current value or our maximum?
If both are listed, that would be your current value. And let me know once everybody is good there.
2, you said?
2 points, yes.
Okay.
11 down to 9.
Say that again, Red.
From 11 down to 9.
Yeah, what is everybody's total magic points right now?
Lucky number
Mine
13.
went from 13 to 11.
Okay.
Say 14 to 12 for me.
And so yes,
No, I don't know if you did know mine. 'Cause it
just
didn't go
those
anywhere.
right, just those that lost it. And everybody that lost magic points, I need for you to roll against your sanity. And as a matter of fact, Brick, since I believe you were the one who noticed Red Jake's sleeve in the door, I need you to roll sanity as well.
Oof.
Success! Oh wait, no, I failed.
Yeah.
I thought. What did I? Oh, I was scrolled up. I saw something else. Dang it! Oh yeah, I
Morgan
scrolled
and
way up.
Sam.
And Brick, you had a weapon, right?
Yep. I have a couple, but it's shotgun
Okay.
currently.
Okay, I'm adjusting the turn order on the right side of the screen to reflect the fact that the two of you have weapons drawn. One of you actively just used one. Everybody that succeeded in their sanity loses 1 point. Who failed? Granville and Slade?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I need you each to roll a 1d4.
Sorry.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yay.
All right, that is how many sanity points you lose. And Brick, did you succeeded? Okay. Brick, you lose 1 sanity point as well.
Yep. Oh, in addition?
Just no, sorry, just the one.
Oh
Only
yeah, I
one.
did that already.
Yep. Yeah. So for Brick, for you, that roll is for you to see to recognize the fact that that is Red Jake at the door, looking from what you can see anyway. Worse for the wear, and inhumanly banging on the door to bow it inwards. I mean, that's not something an average man should be able to do. And everybody else who is chanting, you feel this like surge of. It's almost like when you get a second wind when you are, trying to focus on something, or um, when you get that like eureka moment when you're trying to solve a puzzle or something and then things just kind of click together. You get that sort of borderline euphoric moment and feeling inside your chest, well up as you are reading the incantation. However, for for Granville and Slade, the two of you start to feel that way, but immediately this is where you have an involuntary action, and we'll start with Sam.
Oh.
What would that look like?
So I'm going from. What? I'm
So
going from like.
you're chanting. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So. Well, I think my throat would tighten and the chant would cut off, and maybe the feelings like overwhelming me, and like I'm starting to kind of like dry heave, or maybe not dry heave, but like we call it when you breathe real funny.
Like hyperventilate.
Yeah, words are hard at this time of the night, and maybe I start to stand up in the circle or something crazy like that.
And Granville, what kind of involuntary action might you be doing as a reaction to this odd sensation that actually that feels uncomfortable? It first started to feel euphoric, and now it feels worrisome.
I feel like maybe for Granville in this moment, he starts like his skin goes clammy, like he almost feels ill, like he feels something like in the pit of his stomach, as if something is going wrong.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, as both of those things are happening to the both of you, the two of you, for a moment, involuntarily stop chanting. Remaining 2 individuals for now, which would be, let's start with Larson, if you could read the first paragraph.
O spirits, you I exercise by the power, wisdom, and virtue, by the divine knowledge, by the dark void, by the name of the old ones, the root, trunk, source, and origin of all the other divine names, whence they all draw their life in their power.
And Dr. Hampton, the next paragraph.
I exercise you by the name Nyarth Hotep, signifying the worst excellent bringer of wisdom. His Majesty so high and brighter than the stars of the void.
We'll pause there for now because you just hear sort of that sound that I tried to describe before. If you've ever seen any of the Evil Dead movies, you don't see it, but if you can imagine like the camera angle coming in at a wonky, almost like a Dutch angle as it approaches the house quickly, and then there's a loud bang, and then a loud bang. Yeah, yep, that exact sound.
Yeah.
Yep, followed by a bang. Now, Anton, you hear another bang on the. You're standing sort of by that back window or back door, but you don't see anything out that window. To your right, just above that desk where the hobo's bindle was, you see what looks like a thin, wiry fella with glasses wearing a black suit that you recognize as Bertrand's lawyer that now has a hole in his chest, banging on that glass. And I need you to roll a dodge for me, please. And while he's doing that, Brick, the door to the front, now the frame, you can see start bowing and bending.
Mm.
So, again, the option here, we're using this as a skill check. The option here, as opposed to like say in a combat dodge, you could use luck. You could re-roll or push your roll rather, if you would like. Again, another failure would be catastrophic.
Uh, I don't think pushing would be any good. Mm. What's that, 11?
11 points.
Hmm.
While he's thinking, Brick, I need to know what you are doing in reaction to this door being bowed in. Bertram right now is sitting on the chair and he does not look well. He looks like he's about to throw up.
All right. So the window that's there next to the door.
Mhm.
Do we know if these are double hung windows?
These are your fairly old school single pane, very simple windows. There's not a whole lot to it. Simple wooden frame. Like looks like it might have even been, you know, uh, the cabin itself is relatively cheaply made. The walls are relatively thin, so the windows themselves equally so.
Hmm.
We can give you guys both a second to think about it. If
I
Mars,
spend them, I burn the,
okay, you're going with the spending of the luck to get down to
yep.
32. You are able to, if you would like, to get to that window just above the desk, and again, you see what remains of the lawyer banging on the actual glass, and you can see him reeling back. And basically, we're going to use this dodge check as sort of a reaction roll. He's reeling back right now with his arms. You have the top of the turn order currently. We're going to go in combat order. What is it you would like to do? Had you chosen not to, or had you chosen to fail, you wouldn't be given this opportunity to react right now.
Does he have the like hole in his chest like the others?
He absolutely does.
Um, yeah, I believe this is time for the boomstick.
All right, let's roll against your boomstick skill.
Hard
Hard
success.
success. Very nice. And that's 5 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. He's not dead, or he's not dead again. However, you do take a shot, and it impales him right. Or I shouldn't say impale, because that's actually a rule thing. You get him really good in the shoulder, enough that he ends up taking a double step back away from the window for just a brief moment. Brick, you are next in the turn order.
So did you shoot through the window to get him?
Yeah.
All right. We got him and the hobo, right? So I guess I'll take a shot at him.
Are you gonna try and shoot through the door?
The hobo. Well, that's why I was asking about the window. I could probably, if I could lean out the window and shoot at him.
I would
But
say if you do that, you would likely need a hard success in order to make that, because that is an odd
Gotcha.
angle.
all right. No, I think I'll just finish off the lawyer.
So you're going to move back to the other side of the cabin?
No, oh, is he at the back door?
I'm at the
Yeah.
back. See where the hobos thing is on the bundle is on the table.
Oh, you're way over there. Okay, never mind.
It turns out that's what he was coming back for. He's not possessed at all.
That's right.
Sure. How do I stop this?
No, I think I'm gonna have to hold tight and see if anything happens with this door. And if it does, then I'll have to shoot. Because so far the door's holding up, as opposed to, if I shoot the door, then it's not gonna hold up.
Yeah, I don't know. I just messed up trying to place your token, so we're gonna just pretend like that didn't happen. Son of a bitch, I placed 2 tokens of yours off the map. So let's pretend like those don't exist. Because what? Yeah, you're not that huge, but let's go ahead and do that.
I mean, that could be.
And
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and put Anton right there. Again, you're not that big, but well, I could do this. That's a little better. And just pretend like that other one's not there. I don't know if you guys can see the change or if it updated or not.
I saw
tried to
Brick's
change-
doppelganger. You can't fool me.
All right, so Brick, I'm sorry. What is it you're doing?
There are 2 of them. I'm gonna hold tight because, like I said, that door is holding for now, but I'll be prepared should it not hold anymore.
Okay, that sounds good. Do you want to try and brace yourself against a door or anything physical, or are you just watching it?
Have you seen him? He is a door. He can just hold it.
All right, Larson, you are next up, but I need the 4 of you chanting, because at this point, both Sam and Granville can chant again. But we'll finish off Larson. Sorry, all 4 of you. I do need to roll luck.
For bad luck, I have
no.
luck at all.
Two doctors.
All right, so Larson and Sam. Sam, and this is probably from you trying to recover. Larson, maybe you're seeing that Sam has had some weird moment of whatever just happened to him. But that's when you notice a burning sensation on your shoulders, both of you. And you can you hear even like a slight sizzle, and you see that strange like goo ooze down from above you from the floorboard or the ceiling, the attic's floorboards, drip down and land on each of your shoulders, taking, I'll have you guys go ahead and roll it, a 1d2. So it's not too bad, but 1d2 points of damage.
Oofa.
One. down to 6.
So Larson, that is going to interrupt your ability to chant. Sam, that is going to as yours as well. Hampton, you're going to continue the chant if you would be so kind as to read the third paragraph where we left off.
I exorcise you by the most powerful name of Azar Thoth, the all-powerful, who shall punish the crimes.
And Granville, the last paragraph, please.
Yes. I exorcise you, and I command you absolutely, O demon. In whatsoever part of the universe you may be, by the virtue of these names, hear you and obey.
Again, there's a bang and a crash. The sound of glass breaking from one of the windows directly south, opposite of where Anton is, close to one of you guys in the circle. And strangely enough, you see in both of those windows, there are 2 windows on the southern wall on that half of the cabin. You see something slightly unnerving and something that absolutely threatens all of you to the core. The first window, the one to the southwest, the southwestern window, you see, hilariously, in some level, an enormous fat raccoon with a hole in its chest trying to bang on the glass. But that is not what makes the glass tinkle or crash. In the other window, you see the remains of a big brown bear banging on the frame of the window, causing the glass between the frames to crack and break. The glass itself just shatters inwards after maybe 1 or 2 solid hits, and you can hear that awful bear roar as it reels back and starts to hammer on the frame above the window. We're going to go back in order to Anton, but we're going to see if this, let's see if this works this time. Hold on. It may not.
Release me, and I will grant you any wish.
Did that come through?
Yes.
Yep.
McAllister, leave this house at once, and you will be spared.
All right. We are back in turn order to Anton. What do you do?
Okay, so lawyer guy got shot and he's a few steps away out the window I'm in front of. Where was the bear and where was the raccoon?
The bear is in the window directly behind you, so due south if you're looking at the map.
Okay.
The raccoon is on the other window. So the one that's, if you were to turn around and look at the windows, that would be the window to
Yeah.
the right or the one directly above the bedroll.
Okay. Um, he's gonna kind of be mumbling to himself. Da, accept my wish is that you leave existence. So no. Guys keep doing good. Blam! Shoot the bear.
All right. Let's go ahead and give me another boomstick roll. However, this is a 30 lever, 30, sorry, 30 caliber lever action carbine. I don't know how many bullets that thing holds. Maybe you know. But
Depends on.
that's all right. You've got a success. The bear is not dodging out of the way or diving for cover. You can't dodge bullets, but you can dive for cover. However, this is an undead bear.
You can dodge a wrench.
And just to drive the point home, I mean, it's a bear, but like half of its face is really just a skull of the bear. That's all that remains. This is a bear whose body looks like it's been out and decaying and practically desiccated, but it does have that giant hole in its chest.
So
Just
it's
to
barely
clarify
there.
that a little bit. It is barely a bear. Awful, but I will grant it. Okay. Yeah, you take a shot at it. You definitely hit. Unlike when you shot at a lawyer, um, you can see sort of like the poof of fur, of dead decaying fur and skin kind of erupt out of the wound that you just created in it. But it is definitely not going anywhere anytime soon.
Um, yeah. Keep you talking. Keep you talking.
All right, Brick, what are you doing?
Well, having heard yet another gunfire, I think I need to go to the other room.
All right, where do you go? Keep in mind there is a circle on the floor that cannot be interrupted or
Right.
broken.
Well, I'm gonna, I guess, try to get in there without going anywhere near the circle.
Wasn't the circle right in front of the fireplace?
Yeah.
All right.
You can make your way into the room and to that
Yeah.
window if you need to.
Yeah.
Immediately in front of Anton's line of fire. That's cool.
No, I'm over to the side a little bit.
Hey, I don't mind accidental. Well, wait, no, go ahead. Yes. And what do you plan on doing? You can make it there
Your-
easily.
Your characters do the accidental shooting of teammates.
That's true.
I mean, well, shotgun. So the only thing is, what's the range that I'm using? Probably short, right? Short range.
Yes.
All right, should I just roll for that? I suppose.
Yeah, so shotgun damage, if you see, does it show you different damage types or different damage die rolls?
Yeah, I got a short, medium, and long.
Yeah, so your damage changes depending upon the range.
Yeah,
Short
yeah.
range is massive.
Lethal. Yeah. There it is.
I don't know if 9 is a correct die roll, though, is it? I think it only showed a 1d6 for the damage.
1d6 plus his. Isn't there a plus?
Look at your shotgun damage types. What is the damage for short range?
Hang on, let me see if I can find that.
Okay, because I can look it up for you if you'd like. Because I'm pretty sure it's quite a bit.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
looks like it
12
says
gauge.
12 gauge pump attack.
Yeah, it should be.
shotgun.
Your roll should be 46.
4d6. Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead and re-roll that damage as just a separate die roll, 4d6. So disregard that 9 that it rolled.
Oh,
16.
16. So as we like to say in the D&D world, how would you like to do this?
Oh, it's that bear. I'm blasting its flipping head off.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Rest
whatever
of the way
remains. Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
remains of the head.
Its shoulders and above, all of that's gone.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's like right in the middle of this ungodly roar, too. It's just a roar, and then blam! And then there's nothing but just a headless, desiccated bear with this really old looking, thick, oozing blood that doesn't spray out, just kind of oozes down its body as it falls over,
Nasty.
dead. Larson, you are next.
That was the cat. By
If
the way,
you
clawing at the rug.
if you could do me two things, read the first paragraph and then roll me a constitution roll, please.
Let's see. So we did the first two, so we're on the third one, right?
The third paragraph, yes. Sorry, thank you.
I exercise you by the most powerful name of Azathoth, the all-powerful who shall punish the crimes.
And a
Constitution.
con roll. Yep.
Hard
Excellent.
success.
All right. So no matter, despite what is happening around you, I mean, you're still able. There's gunfire. There's an undead bear that just tried to break in through the glass, and you're unfazed. You just are steadfast and focused. You are reading this as if nothing has happened. You're like in this Zen sort of fixed moment.
The burning goo on the shoulder probably is like, nope, this has to happen. Or else.
All right, Sam.
Yeah,
Let's read the next part of the chant, please, and then roll me a con check.
I have no idea where we are. Which one are we on?
4.
I exercise you, and I command you absolutely, O demon, whatsoever part of the universe you may be, by the virtue of all these names, hear you and obey. And then a con check.
Yes, please.
Can I spend luck on that?
You can. I will say in your favor, you do have one success this round so far. So Larson has made it, so that's good. So for all intents and purposes, you could fail this round.
All right. I will not spend the luck then.
How would you describe that failure amidst all this gunfire and undead goings on and a
Is it-
weird Zen-like Larson?
As I was trying to concentrate on what I was doing, a cat got in the way. So, which actually happened. Yeah, I guess just like maybe I said it just as one of the gunshots went off, and I kind of like break the chant, and go, oh shit, ah, ma, and try to get my try to recover, but I can't.
Yeah, I get it. I like it. Hampton. That is, you are up next.
Back to the first.
Yep.
O spirits, you I exercise by the power, wisdom, and virtue, by the divine knowledge, by the dark void, by the name of the old ones, the root, trunk, source, and origin of all the other divine names, whence they all draw their life and their power.
And roll me a constitution check, please. Nice. Again, you are unfazed. Professor Granville.
I exorcise you by the name Nyarlathotep, signifying the most excellent bringer of wisdom. His majesty is so high and brighter than the stars of the void.
And a con check from you as well.
Sure. Uh,
Go with the first result. Yeah, you want the first result too, as opposed to the second one.
Woof, the second one's oh my god. Yes, I'll take the first one, which is only a failure and not a fumble.
And like I said, Larson did succeed. So, as a matter of fact, so did Lockhart. So, how does this look for you? How did you mess this up?
That's a good question. I will say that maybe, unlike how I actually just read it right now, that perhaps Granville was like stumbling over his words and like repeating himself or something, and kind of, oh no, do I go back or do I keep going? Is it,
Fish.
His Majesty's so high and brighter than the bringer of the wisdom. Good son of a, type of.
I heard that, Chris. That's funny. Yeah, that's probably because of everything that's happening right now, right? I mean, this is kind of insane that this is all happening at
Right,
the
the
same
stress
time.
levels are like.
Background to the top of the round. Before Anton, you take your action. Everybody hears the front door creak, groan. You hear a bang, and then a crack and a splinter of wood shower inwards into, and Brick, out of the corner of your eye, you can see what remains of the door fly towards Bertram, and you can hear Bertram. All of you can hear Bertram screaming from his chair. As a matter of fact, like he kind of does this like wheeling thing while sitting in the chair, falls over backwards out of the moldy chair. So now he's sprawled on the floor. However, Brick, give me a spot hidden.
Before
Yeah, despite
just
despite having your focus, your attention focused on Bertram falling out of the chair, you do notice that as the door splinters in and you see what remains of this of Red Jake, the hobo, reach in, and he starts to take a step into the house, and you see him just immediately collapse on the floor. The only thing that you can see moving on him right now is his lower half, as it seems to be struggling to get himself up. But the upper half seems completely immobile. At this point, let's get Anton. What is it that you would like to do since it's the top of the round?
Well, if the door just got busted in, he's gonna swing around and probably go boomstick again.
All right, you're going to go over towards the Red Jake and.
Yeah, I figure yeah, go to here, and he's not on the other on the
No, he's not on Bertram. If you can imagine on
yeah,
the map, Bertram is sprawled prone on the ground just north of that chair.
yeah.
Red Jake, his form is just south of the chair in the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'll remind you, the top half is not moving. You could, for all intents and purposes, walk up to his body and shoot.
Yeah. What kind of damage comparatively do you do with just like slapping with like the butt? You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
be the same as like the wrench where it's the
Yes, except in this case, I think we could probably go with like the equivalent of like a cudgel, and I think that's 1d4 plus your strength bonus.
mhm.
Unless you are trying, and you can try to do this too. You're always welcome to try this. You can try to knock out.
Mm, is the door like broken or is it just
Oh, it's
open?
broken.
It's broken. Shit.
From the details that you can see, there are bits of door remaining where the hinges are still attached to the wall, but the rest of the door has been blown inwards, and most of it is underneath Red Jake's body.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I think I'm gonna uh take a couple steps forward and attempt to um well, not double tap, but um take a just put it up almost to him and just pull the trigger.
Yeah, I'm not going to have you roll for that because that is literally a point blank shot at an unmoving target. I'll let you, on the other hand, describe exactly what that looks like.
Um, he's at this point, you can just see like this, like a moment of like revulsion, and then like a stoic look on his face. Anton's undoubtedly, uh, if anything, almost like you know reminiscing of the like he's back in the war, he's back in the fighting. There's what I mean. Shit's going down around him, and so he just walks. He takes like 3 strides into the room, points a gun down, blam, just blows basically probably the spine out of the back of Red Jake's body.
Yeah, you've effectively just destroyed his spine. Now, not only is there a hole in his chest, there's a large hole in his back.
And looks at the now looks at the door and sees if anything else is coming in.
Doesn't require a spot hidden. You don't see anything else out there.
Okay.
Rick, at this point, what are you doing?
All right. I'm gonna move into that room where all that just happened.
Mhm.
Look at the door. Look at the crap on the floor. Think we should plug that door with the couch?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a strength check. That's something you can do.
Wow.
Okay, well, so that's something you could do normally without any trouble, but you're under duress. And this is a fumble.
That it
However,
is.
you can choose to push the roll.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because it's kind of ridiculous that I would roll that badly with how high skill I
Right.
have.
You have a high target, so you have an 80% chance of succeeding. But remember, a pushed roll failure can be bad.
Yeah, I know. But, it's a risk. Son of a- Oh, I hate this
Yeah.
fucking
And
puzzle.
you can't spend luck on a pushed roll,
Nope,
unfortunately.
that's fine. I knew what I was getting into.
It's probably because, like I said, you're under duress, and maybe you tell me. Maybe all this gunfire is got triggering you a little bit, PTSD.
Yeah, I think it's between that. I imagine the floorboards are kind of nasty. This couch probably got stuck in it. I really can't get a handle on what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to think of too many things at once. And yeah,
Yeah, and I think even seeing Red Jake's body with a hole in it is a little bit too reminiscent of the horrors you had to face just a few years ago.
right.
So let's roll a sanity check.
Let's roll the puke. Nope.
Let's
I
roll
mean,
a
that's
1d.
this all tracks so far.
Yeah, this does. Give me a 1d4 roll, please.
Gonna max this puppy, I can tell already. Yep.
No, I was
Not too
rooting
bad.
for it.
Wait,
Come
you're
on.
rolling.
What kind of involuntary reaction would you have had to this?
I think it's exactly like you said. I'm kind of in between spacing out and dry heaving and a little bit of like I can't. I'm looking back over towards the fireplace and the doorway, and I don't really know what the hell's going on for a second here. Like,
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you've probably, like, you too are probably on the verge of throwing up or something like that anyway.
right.
Everybody else who is currently chanting, I'm not going to make you reread the chant this time around, but I am going to ask that each of you in turn do a con check. So that would be Larson's up next.
I lose 2 sanity, right?
You did lose 2 sanity.
Okay, yeah.
Larson succeeds. Sam. Succeed. Hampton. Success. And Granville. Excellent.
Success all around.
You see a wisp of this oily smoke coming down, curling from the cracks in the ceiling above you. And you see the smoke sort of twisting and creating almost a small but long, like a tornado shape that starts to guide itself towards the center of the pentagram that you had drawn on the floor. And you can't see anything specifically, but you see this odd shape. Sometimes you see a series of eyes, unblinking eyes, just swirling around. And I don't mean like human eyes just kind of being tossed about, but actual intelligent looking eyes that are staring at you, that even as they swirl around in this sort of black, oily, wispy, tornado-y sort of shape, rotating around its cyclonic center as it sorts of funnels down between the cracks in the ceiling and down towards the pentagram. You see out of the corners of everybody's eyes, because I'm assuming nobody really wants to take a look, but you even see that the last remaining creature that you found so far, the raccoon in the window, actually just slump down against the window itself and just sort of almost comically slide down and disappear below the sill of the window. You can see the shape uh, swirling around constantly. And Sam, for a moment, the shape changes and it's no longer a swirling form, but it's now the woman you knew that you served with when you were in the service in the Great War. And she says to you, I didn't mean to leave you that night. but I couldn't continue on with our mission. Come with me. Join me. I'm in a much safer place now.
And, do I believe this?
Ah, perfect question. Give me an intelligence check, please. Let me double check that. There is a, if you bear with me just one moment.
Oh, we already took care of the bear.
Yes, we are doing what is essentially a reality check, is what it's called. Oh, okay. You need to roll. I'm sorry. You need to roll against, not your intelligence, but you need to roll against your sanity.
Oh. I'm
Sorry
supposed
about
to
that.
keep that roll, can I? Success.
Yeah. As soon as you're starting to question it, right? You know for a fact this isn't real. So how do you react?
First you want to kiss me, then you want to kill me. Blow.
And then you can see her like saying no, and then like raising up her arms, and then that swirls into like the strange black, wispy, oily tornado. And for a brief moment, again, it turns into another shape. And this time, it's a very masculine looking, gruff looking fella wearing a leather flight jacket with a fur coat, or fur collar rather. And you can see him standing there with his flight pants and boots. And he turns to Anton, and with a thick accent that I'm not going to replicate because I can't do it, says, Anton, I've taught you all you know, but there is more to learn. Come with me, and we can finish your training.
Oh, sanity roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're positive this can't be, because why would he be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it starts to shape, or the shape begins to change. And before you know it, you see a twisting mass of talons and long appendages. And again, the eyes almost seem to fall out of it, but they're really at the end of these long, black, oily stalks as it starts to whirl around, almost like one of those toys that kids have where they push a button and the thing spins around. And it starts to go faster and faster as the eyes at the end of each stalk sort of spins around. At this point, I need everybody to also roll me another sanity check, please.
Wow, I very much made it this time. Where were you last time, stupid roll?
Nice break.
Right. In order. Who passed?
Yes.
I passed.
Everybody who passes loses just one sanity. Everybody who failed
Yo,
rolls a 1d6.
D6.
Yep, and I can tell you, you don't want a 5 or 6.
I was gonna say.
Yay, 2.
Oh, it's not a 5 or a
Excellent.
6.
That's good. I just mechanically, a 5 or 6 would have driven you over the edge.
Yeah.
So for both of you, what kind of involuntary action do you have here? Granville, what about you?
I had stepped away because I was getting a beverage, so I only caught part of the description of what just occurred.
Which part did you miss? The shapes formed into someone that Sam remembers from his past,
I
and then
remember
it
that.
changed into a form that Anton remembers from his past.
Uh-huh.
Both of them were able to sort of see through it and then get a check on reality. But then the thing started to change shape into a mass of like black wispy stalks with eyes at the end of each stalk, rotating around so quickly that it was almost spinning too fast, which was the cause for the sanity check, because
Right,
that
right.
shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? That might just with minus the profanity. I feel like that might be what is going on with Morville, with Morgan. Just like, nope, this cannot be occurring. This does not happen. This is not a shape that occurs in nature. You know, type of sort of like talking to himself. Just like, nope, this is not happening right now. This cannot be happening.
Turning into a babbling mess.
Yeah.
Larson, what about Larson?
Probably feel like, in spite of doing so well through most of the chanting and all that, seeing that, he kind of recoils back at this and kind of like goes for his gun. Probably like drops it or something.
Yeah, I think that's actually perfectly appropriate. And if the both of you who failed could roll luck for me. Granville, that's you too. Do a luck
Yes.
check.
Luck.
Who would you say are the two people standing closest to you on either side of you?
For Granville?
Yeah, at the circle. It would be any two of the four people who have been chanting normally this whole time. Doesn't matter. Just
It's I don't know. Let's say Dr. Lockhart and Sam.
all right. Lockhart and Sam, if you guys could both give me a spot hidden.
Spot hidden, you said?
Yes, please.
Success.
Can I push that? Or luck, rather?
One success is probably enough.
Fair enough.
Sam, as Granville starts babbling incoherently, well, not incoherently, he's just babbling coherently. You can see him accidentally take a step forward and erase part of the pentagram with his foot.
Oh no. Oh no.
You have an action. You have the ability to take an immediate action.
I will try to redraw that pentagram line.
All right.
Hopefully there's some material nearby.
There's the chalk you guys used, so
Yeah.
that's still probably literally on the floor.
I will do that if I can. Would it be sleight of hand? Oh no, don't be sleight of hand. Oh no, I only have a 10.
How about you take a look at your own character sheet and you argue for me which skill might work the best in your opinion?
I take my gun out and I shoot a line.
What is this, sledgehammer?
Interesting.
Sleight of hand might work.
No, I have a 10 in that. It won't work.
Any kind of arts and crafts, which you don't have.
Can I assist him on this?
Well, unfortunately, you failed your spot hidden, but you did ask if you could spend the luck. So if you want to spend the luck, then I'll say you also saw this happen.
I don't see anything that makes sense here. That I have a good skill in. Shit. Language? No, it's language owned. Never mind.
Let's see. This is
Hampton,
1920s.
Well, Hampton, are you going to spend the 3 luck to hit your target?
I'm just. I mean, I was goofing around here. I'm actually just trying to think if there's anything that I could really possibly do, seriously possibly do. I was jokingly going to sprinkle cocaine on the ground because 1920s. I might have some on me, and finish up the line.
I just got ghost. You should do cocaine about it.
I was about to say my medicine check is pretty strong, so I've got a legit chance on this.
All right, go ahead and
pharmacology.
spend the 3 points of luck to get down to the 31 target you need to have also spotted this.
Fuck is my luck here? Oh
No,
shit!
don't
you
click
don't
it,
need to
just
roll it, yeah.
spend it.
No, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to. My tracker. That's what I wanted to edit.
Yep, and then once you've done that, unless Chris has an alternate method that he can propose.
I really
ahead and
don't.
give
I
me a
really don't have
medicine.
anything that's applicable that I have a good score in. It would be very.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh,
I'd be helping him.
You'd have to roll a medicine check in order to help him. Do you have any points in medicine? Probably 1%, right?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So,
I first aid with 30.
Dr. Lockhart, you can push the roll, or you can spend the luck.
I don't have much luck. Well, I mean, I do, but
I will say this, without spoiling anything. I would strongly advise you to do something to pass.
Couldn't you just do
I'm
like
gonna do it!
dexterity or something like that?
So close.
Oh my
I'm going to spend 2
gosh.
points. I'm going to make it.
You know what? I'll
Wow.
allow it. I'll allow it.
Because he starts to sprinkle it. I'm like, no, you're getting it all over the place. And
Yeah, I like it. That's, anything for the story. Yep. And then you're able to knock him out of the way, destroy part of the pentagram yourself. Just kidding. And finish the line. So for everyone that is still chanting while this is happening, because everyone sees this happening, the last words leave your lips ragged and raw, the sound scraping the air like stone being dragged across the stone. Your throats, your voices, they feel hoarse and tired. And for just a moment, nothing happens. But then the 2 candles that you had lit flare up. And for a moment, you look at the walls of the cabin itself, and all the walls around all of you seem to bend inwards as if being drawn in by a sudden inhale from the pentagram on the floor. The temperature immediately drops sharply. When you exhale, you even see fog coming out of you exhale like steam out of your breath. You smell this thick, oily stench and a smell of scorched hair as the mask continues to swirl around, but then eventually get pulled into the inside of that sarcophagus-shaped box that you had put on the inside of the pentagram. The shadows along the walls being cast by the candles and the fire inside the fireplace start to move, irrelevant of the way the candles are burning, almost as if they're crawling, almost like they're stretching towards the circle. The thing inside, as it's being drawn into the sarcophagus-shaped box, starts to lose coherence. Its edge is blurring. The sound rises from it. It's not a voice, but it's more like a deep vibration that you feel, almost like a bass sound, very bassy, heavy sound. There's a final piercing shriek, and then followed by a violent inrush of air coming in from every window and every door. The last remaining door that you were guarding flies inwards. The candles are snuffed out, and the cabin itself gets plunged into darkness while the fireplace itself goes out. When your vision returns and you get accustomed to the dark in just a few seconds, the circle itself feels cold. The shadows again feel normal. The smell fades. You no longer smell that scorched hair. And then immediately you see lights from outside the cabin. You see them sort of panning across the outside of the cabin to the point where you can see the beams of light sort of move across some of the windows and into the cabin. But the thing itself is gone. You no longer feel its presence. You no longer see the swirling smoke. Everything about it is gone and into the sarcophagus-shaped box, where you hear a final chink as a small piece of amber suddenly appears inside the sarcophagus-shaped box. What does anybody do at this point?
Anton
You're seeing-
reloads his gun.
Close the lid.
Okay.
He has no faith in anything right now.
If there
Close
were,
the lid on
if
the
there
box.
was a way we could lock the thing, I would suggest it.
Seal it in wax.
Speaking of guns, I don't know. Should you guys be seen holding anything? We got a couple of bodies with some big old holes in them.
It's a shame this place got on fire.
You, all of you, can hear the crunching of gravel
Ah, shit.
under multiple shoes. And you can even see shadows momentarily blocking the light that's shining into the windows, vaguely in the shape of people.
Ah, shit. And out the back door I went.
What do you do now?
Huh. Well, is the weird bear and raccoon bodies, are they still there?
Yeah.
So we do have some physical evidence that something weird was going on here. I think it's going to be really difficult to beat a murder charge.
You wouldn't believe it. The bear had a shotgun and he blew away the lawyer, and then the raccoon pulled out another rifle.
It was a forest showdown, I tell you.
Actually, I think is this house lit with electricity or like oil lamps or something?
No. Right now it's lit by nothing.
Lit by nothing.
Probably the only light that's available right now is the flashlight that is attached to Anton's rifle gun.
I really think the best move might be to set the place on fire if we can and get out the back door.
What's Brick's cousin there doing?
Yeah.
Sleeping.
He's on the ground, sprawled out, and you can hear him muttering incoherently. You can't understand a single word he's saying.
Failed
Rick, you
the
might want
sanity check.
to grab your boy and let's get the hell out of here.
No, if we're setting the place on fire, I think they'll leave it.
Now.
No,
Now,
I'm kidding.
Brick.
Or am I?
You see,
You don't
the
defeat evil
incoherent
by
babbling
being
makes him prime usage for what we call a fall guy.
It's right. It's time for him to be useful.
Throw Anton's rifle next to him and let's skedaddle.
As you're talking, you hear a quiet knock on the back door, and you can see the shape and silhouette of a person standing. You can see it through the glass, or what remains of the glass, in that door. You can't make out any details because of the light behind it. But you hear a quiet knock.
Well, we can't get out the back door now, and I think they're at the front door, so time to be charming. Oh, go ahead.
We'll let him in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Anton kind of holds his rifle to the side and, like, partially opens the back door.
Oh, I was going to do that on face.
Again, with the light behind the figure, you can't make out any details, but you can tell that it's a man wearing a suit, and he's wearing a hat, and he does take a step back away from the door as you open it, going a little bit closer to where the light source is. And you hear his voice say, "Gentlemen, please join me outside."
Let's remove light.
I believe we have much to discuss.
Sound familiar? Does it sound like the MIB that got us after the lighthouse?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that.
As a matter of fact, it sounds exactly like that person that you met directly after the lighthouse.
I don't remember his name, but Christmas.
I'm sure that his name is Agent.
Jones?
And you can see him.
Yeah.
He's holding his arm out.
I walk out.
Okay, very well then.
Everybody else?
Yep. Follow suit.
Yep.
Come on, Bertram.
Yeah, you help Bertram up. You can hear him just, he's saying words. It's English. None of it makes sense in the order that he puts the words in. And you can tell that he was just crying. Like, he's got a wet face and snot running down his cheek, or his lips, and tears down his cheeks. But you help him up to his feet. And everybody goes outside, I assume?
I
Yep.
do.
Yeah.
Now that everybody's outside and with a different angle of light, you do, in fact, recognize this guy. He seems to have a really unremarkable face. He's clean cut. He takes off his hat. He's got neatly parted hair, but he's just got that ordinary face, the kind that would just be forgotten, moments after passing it in the street. The only thing that sets him apart from anybody that you might just bump into randomly and forget about is the fact that he's got a very neatly pressed black suit. tailored just perfectly so. You also see behind him a group of other individuals, mostly men, 2 women, all wearing fitted black suits or black dresses, all uniform, no insignia that you can see. You see 2 cars, and you see a Ford Model TT flatbed. You can see the one guy who directed you outside kind of point. 2 other fellas walk towards the back of the flatbed truck and start to move a small crate to the ground off of the flatbed. Gentlemen, it's been a short while. Rick McTavish. I see you've done a good job. Certainly better than Rupert Merriweather. How would you explain what happened here?
That depends on who we're explaining it to.
How much time have you got?
How did I explain it to the police, or how will I explain it to you? Because those two are two very different stories.
That's a good point. I am not the police. Neither do we represent any recognizable organization that you might be familiar with. For now, you can call us the workshop.
The workshop. All right, close my notes, darn it.
Now, you weren't chosen at random. We've been aware of your movements since you first appeared in Arkham, and even before then, since you first appeared on the shore. Not following, just monitoring. However, we have had occasion to pick up any of the crumbs that you've left behind. And he mentions the hollow from where you were celebrating, air quotes, the autumn festival. He mentions the phone call that Rick made to New Orleans. Somebody walks up to him and says, or walks past him and goes into the house. And then very quickly just turns around, comes right back, and says to him, you can hear him, says, the lurker is gone. And McTavish turns back to you and says, good job. My associate here says that the lurker is gone, not destroyed, not undone, but displaced, and that distinction matters. Let's say you forced it away using methods that limit the potential damage that it could have caused. From this point on, this area becomes our responsibility. This site will be sealed. Everything on site will be cataloged. I see you've met some resistance, and we'll take care of any residual damage incurred. And you can see him sort of indicating the body of the lawyer that is currently slumped on the ground not too far from where you stand. As for you, you'll go back to your lives. Forget whatever details you can. And if you sense something that feels wrong in the world, when you sense that edge of darkness again,
He said the name.
you'll know why. And perhaps you can assist. But we're not here to recruit you. Understand this. You are known to us now. And tonight was not an anomaly. We'll be in touch.
Wait a minute, Jack. Let me explain something to you. We're walking around in the dark here, blind. If you know stuff and you can help us, lay it on us. We don't know what we're doing. I mean, we figure it out, but it'll be nice to have a leg up. Guns don't seem to do a whole lot. I mean, they do, but in this case, but not all the time. Help us out.
Let's put it this way. If anything, you will be helping us out.
Oh.
Oh,
He hands you a card. It's like a business card. And on it are really just 2 phrases. On the top, it says the workshop. And underneath it, it says Project Montauk. Montauk. The 2 men that he had pointed to before, who had moved a small crate off the flatbed truck, you now notice have removed something from the crate. And from your vantage point, you can see it. It's a device, compact, intricate. Its construction seems to echo something impossibly familiar. There are curved metal ribs, there are crystalline elements, there's asymmetrical fittings that suggest a logic that doesn't make sense. Parts of it even appear to have chitinous shapes bordering on the edges of it. But you strain to see whatever memory you might have of the object, but you can't seem to pinpoint anything. But you've got that stab of deja vu. Everybody does. And McTavish puts his hat back on his head and says, "It's best that we set things straight. Adjust the angle of things a touch. The cosmos doesn't seem to care for loose ends." He points again to the 2 people, and you hear the device hum to life. And you see these colors, not emanating from the device, but surround each and every single one of you, almost individually. They coil and fold in on themselves, and it's an impossible to describe color. Pearlescent purple is probably the best that you can describe it as, with these oily violets and these strange sickly blues. You smell something briefly of liquor and winter air. Sounds seem to overlap, and despite whatever it is that you might try to say, you can't even hear yourself, but you hear wind through the trees, and then the colors seem to swirl around you some more. You're in a car now, and you're driving away from a disheveled house. You see what look like the first real snowflakes of winter beginning to fall around you and around outside the car. And you hear the sound is back to normal. The colors are gone. This feels strangely reminiscent of a memory you don't actually have. But you hear Granville say, fellas, the next time we decide to celebrate a holiday together, I think I'm just going to stay home. No offense. And that is where we are going to end the Edge of Darkness and the current Call of Cthulhu game. I want to thank all of you for playing, joining me in this endeavor. Hope you guys had a good time. And for a little bit of end of the night stuff, Chris, I'll hand it back to you.
Well, yes, I had a great time. Call of Cthulhu is very cool. happy we survived one more investigation together. I like our characters. This Sunday, I don't know what's going on. If there is anything going on, I won't be a part of it myself because I'll be watching the Superb Owl because it's my wife's favorite team playing. And no, not the Patriots. For God's sakes. Monday, we should be back on the regular Odd Lot channels for both YouTube and Twitch with more Fortunes Fools. We just landed the ship, not land, like we docked the ship in a city run by monsters, but like monstrous races, but they're like pretty chill. There was a cool hot dog guy. There was a Minotaur. Apparently, there's going to be some pro wrestling. And we have to save some slaves, some otter folk slaves who are being trafficked by Githyanki. So I don't know how we're going to do that because we're only like level 3. And next Wednesday, Tim, you're not going to be here, correct?
No. I will be traveling.
I can do, Chris, if you're not ready to start or don't want to without Tim. There's a really, really, really actual short one-shot for Call of Cthulhu we could do, not using our characters though. If you want.
Let's tell you what. Let's figure out what we want to do. We'll do that off camera, and we'll do something next Wednesday. How about that? We will be back probably at a regular time of 8:00. So with that said, we'll